There's something about Taurus, something the world has always noticed, but never dared to say out loud. Maybe it's the way they walk into a room silently without a word, yet every head turns. Maybe it's their calm, their confidence, that unshakable energy that makes people feel something they can't explain. And maybe it's envy, not the loud, obvious kind. No, this envy is quiet. It's hidden. It hides in admiration, in longing, in that subtle feeling of, I wish I had what they have, but I never will. You see, people don't envy Taurus for what they say. They envy Taurus for what they never have to say, for the way they hold their pain without broadcasting it, for the way they love without begging, for the way they leave without ever looking back. There are 21 hidden reasons why everyone secretly envies Taurus, and each one reveals a different side of the soul they try so hard to understand, but never quite can. If you've ever felt that others are watching you in silence, if you've ever sensed admiration masked as criticism, if you've ever known what it's like to be loved for your silence and feared for your strength, this is for you. Before we begin, I want you to tell me in the comments, what's the one trait in Taurus that people either deeply admire or quietly fear? I'll be reading every word, because the truth we're about to uncover will not only explain why Taurus is envied, it will reveal something even deeper. Why that envy will never become imitation. Let's begin. Reason 1. Taurus doesn't ask for attention, but the room always notices. They don't raise their voice. They don't chase applause. They don't wear their confidence on their sleeve. And yet, they're the ones people can't stop watching. There's something magnetic about Taurus, an invisible gravity that draws attention without effort. They may sit in the corner of the room quietly sipping their drink, saying nothing. But somehow, everyone feels them. Everyone notices them. Not because they demand it, but because they don't. In a world obsessed with loudness, Taurus is the whisper that echoes longest. This is the first reason people secretly envy Taurus. They command presence without asking for it. Their stillness makes others restless. Their calm makes others question their own noise. They don't need to fight for space. They are the space. And that unsettles those who've spent their lives trying to be seen. Comment if this resonates with you. Have you ever felt like people stare at you, but they don't know why? Life lesson. True presence doesn't shout. It radiates. Taurus teaches us that you don't have to prove your worth to be powerful. Sometimes the most powerful souls are the ones who say the least and are remembered the longest. Reason 2. The calm of Taurus makes people uncomfortable because it exposes their chaos. Taurus doesn't react the way people expect them to. When everyone else is rushing, they move slowly. When others are shouting, they remain silent. When chaos hits, Taurus doesn't crumble. They pause. They breathe. They calculate. And that is terrifying, because their stillness holds power. Their ability to stay calm in moments of pressure unsettles those who rely on noise to feel in control. When Taurus doesn't panic, others begin to doubt their own reactions. Their calm is like a mirror. It reflects the truth people don't want to see about themselves. It's not that Taurus is emotionless, far from it. But they know that storms don't last, and reacting wildly only feeds the fire. So they stay grounded, even when the ground beneath them shakes, and in that silence they win. Life lesson. Stillness is not weakness, it's strategy. Taurus shows us that composure under pressure isn't just strength, it's leadership. Have you ever stayed calm when everyone else lost control? Comment below if you've felt that quiet power rise inside you. Reason 3. They never chase, and that's what makes people run toward them. There's a myth about Taurus that they're stubborn, distant, hard to reach, but the truth is simpler. Taurus just doesn't chase energy that doesn't feel right. They don't beg for attention. They don't force conversations. They don't try to impress. And this Subtle refusal to chase makes people chase them. Chase. It's not a game. It's instinct. Taurus knows their value. They understand that what's meant for them will come, and what's not meant for them should never be pursued. So while others exhaust themselves running after love, validation, or status, Taurus simply waits. And what's remarkable is the right things always come. People envy this effortless magnetism. They wish they could stop chasing and still be chosen. But Taurus doesn't hope to be chosen. They know if you see their worth, you'll come. If you don't, they were never yours to begin with. Life lesson. When you know your worth, silence becomes a magnet. Taurus reminds us, you don't need to chase what is already aligned with your soul. Have you ever walked away, and they came running after you? Comment if you've ever been surprised by what showed up once you stopped chasing. Reason 4. Taurus is loyal to the bone, but the moment you cross them, they're gone forever. Taurus doesn't give their loyalty easily. It's earned slowly, genuinely, and often without words. But once you have it, you have something rare, a loyalty that doesn't crack under pressure. They will protect you, defend you, support you, even when you're not looking. They remember your birthday, your pain, your smallest details. They will walk through fire if they believe in you. But here's what people envy most. That same loyalty can vanish in an instant, because if you break their trust not once, but when the line is truly crossed, they won't argue. They won't scream. They will disappear, quietly, without a goodbye, and they'll never come back. This emotional boundary is something others wish they had. Most people forgive too much, stay too long, explain themselves too often. Taurus. They leave with their dignity intact. Life lesson: protect your peace like Taurus does. Being loyal doesn't mean being a doormat. Sometimes walking away in silence is the loudest form of self-respect. Have you ever walked away from someone without explaining yourself and felt lighter because of it? Comment if this sounds like a chapter you've lived. Reason 5. Taurus forgives slowly, but when they do, they never bring it up again. Most people confuse Taurus's silence with indifference. But what they don't realize is Taurus remembers everything. Every word, every wound, every betrayal. And when they forgive, it's not because they've forgotten. It's because they've outgrown it. Taurus doesn't throw the past back in your face. They don't weaponize old mistakes. They either move on or move away. And if they stay, it means they've chosen peace over punishment. And that choice carries more weight than any apology. People envy this level of emotional control, because while others need closure, Taurus becomes it. They bury the pain not to suppress it, but to rise above it. Their ability to hold space for healing without reopening the wound makes them both intimidating and admired. Life lesson: you don't need to win every argument to reclaim your power. Sometimes real strength is choosing peace over pride and never looking back. Have you ever forgiven someone quietly? Not for them, but for your own freedom? Tell me below. Your story matters. Reason 6. They sense the shift before it happens and start letting go long before you notice. By the time you realize Taurus has drifted, they've already gone. Not physically, but emotionally, spiritually. They begin detaching the moment something feels off. You won't hear a fight. You won't see a breakdown. You'll just start to feel their silence. Taurus doesn't need to be told when a connection is dying. They sense it in the pauses, in the unspoken, in the way you don't look at them the same. And once that energy shifts, they start letting go in stages, quietly, respectfully, without warning. And by the time you ask what went wrong, Taurus is already 2 chapters ahead. People envy this instinct, because most cling until it breaks. Taurus releases before it shatters. Life lesson: detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity. Taurus teaches us that walking away with grace protects your soul more than staying out of fear. Have you ever started grieving something before it ended just because you felt it slipping? Let me know in the comments. You're not alone. Reason 7. They carry their pain so beautifully no one knows they're bleeding. Taurus doesn't show wounds. They wear them like armor. They don't break down in front of you. They break in silence under moonlight behind closed doors. When no one is watching, they'll smile through heartbreak. They'll show up, get the job done, say they're fine. Even when they're holding back a storm, people envy this quiet strength, but they also misunderstand it. Because carrying pain alone is both a blessing and a burden. Taurus believes in not being a burden, in being the one everyone leans on, in being the calm in everyone else's chaos, even when theirs is louder. And while that makes them the strongest person in the room, it also makes them the loneliest. Life lesson: the strongest people aren't the loudest about their pain. They are the ones who carry it with grace and still choose kindness. Have you ever had to smile when you were breaking inside? If you've ever been the strong one, comment below. This space is for you. Reason 8. Taurus notices everything even when they pretend not to. They may not look up. They may not speak. They may keep sipping their tea like nothing happened. But make no mistake, Taurus saw it. They felt it. And they're storing it. Taurus is the quiet observer in the room, while others are busy trying to impress or defend. Taurus watches, listening, not just to your words, but your silences, your tone, your energy. And that's what makes people uncomfortable, because they realize you can't lie to someone who reads vibes, not words. Taurus won't always call it out. They'll act as if they didn't notice, but they're filing it away. And when the moment comes, they'll remember exactly what you did and what you didn't. Life lesson: stillness can be sharper than speech. Taurus reminds us, the most powerful people don't react, they record. Have you ever pretended not to notice, just to protect your peace? Tell me below. Sometimes silence is the most strategic move. Reason 9. Taurus doesn't argue because their silence speaks louder than words. When someone disrespects them, Taurus doesn't waste energy arguing. They don't raise their voice. They don't play game. They simply think. And that's what makes people panic, because most people are used to conflict, to chaos, to dramatic reactions. But Taurus doesn't give them that satisfaction. Instead, they offer silence, a kind of silence that feels heavier than shouting. It says, I saw what you did. I know what it means, and you're not worth a reaction. Taurus values peace too much to let petty arguments steal their power. So while others spin in circles, Taurus walks away calm, composed, and in control. Life lesson: not every battle is worth fighting. Sometimes the strongest response is none at all. Have you ever walked away from conflict and felt more powerful because of it? Leave a comment. Your restraint is your strength. Reason 10. Taurus thinks long-term even when others only see the moment. They take their time. They don't rush. They don't jump into decisions based on emotion or pressure. And because of that, they win the long game. Taurus sees beyond the moment. They ask, if I do this, now will it still matter tomorrow? Next year? 10 years from now? Others call them slow, stubborn, hesitant. But in reality, Taurus is strategic. They'd rather take a week to choose the right direction than rush down the wrong path in a day. This long-term vision is why people envy them. Because while others fixate on instant gratification, Taurus builds futures, relationships, careers, dreams that last. Life lesson: confidence is a form of power. Taurus teaches us that wisdom often looks like stillness, and success is built slowly, one solid step at a time. Do you see the world long-term, even when others want everything now? Let me know in the comments if this feels like your pace. Reason 11. If something feels unsafe, Taurus will speak up even if it makes you uncomfortable. Taurus doesn't play emotional guessing games. If something feels off, If they sense jealousy, insecurity, or even the smallest shift in energy, they'll say it. They won't stay silent just to keep the peace. Because for Taurus, emotional safety is not optional. It's sacred. They've spent too many years pretending everything was okay. So now, they'd rather risk making you uncomfortable than risk abandoning themselves again. People envy this emotional honesty. Because while most of us stay quiet and let problems grow, Taurus speaks truth. While it's still soft before it turns into resentment. And that kind of courage, that's rare. Life lesson: speak your truth before it becomes your silence. Taurus teaches us that emotional clarity builds stronger bonds even when it's uncomfortable. Have you ever had to tell someone the truth just to protect your peace? Share your moment below your honesty might inspire someone else. Reason 12. Taurus doesn't just want love, they want stability. And they'll build it brick by brick. For Taurus, love isn't just a feeling. It's a structure, a foundation, a future. They don't fall fast. They don't fall foolishly. But once they're in, they're all in. They'll protect the relationship like it's sacred land. They'll invest their time, energy, and patience not just to feel love, but to build it. Because Taurus doesn't want excitement that disappears in a week. They want something that survives storms, time, and silence. That level of commitment, of loyalty, responsibility, devotion is something most people crave, but few can offer. And that's what makes Taurus so enviable. They don't just promise forever. They plan for it. Life lesson: love isn't just passion, it's architecture. Taurus reminds us, if you want something to last, build it like it matters. Have you ever been the one building while others were just enjoying the view? Tell me below. I know that kind of heart takes strength. Reason 13. To win a Taurus, you don't have to impress them, you just have to be real. You can't fool them with flash. You can't win them with charm. What Taurus is drawn to is something far rarer: authenticity. They don't need a perfect partner. They don't need a smooth talker. They just need someone who shows up raw, real, and unapologetically themselves. Because Taurus sees through masks. They feel when someone's faking. And nothing turns them off more than a person trying too hard to be impressive. What they crave is peace. Someone calm, honest, grounded, someone who doesn't need to perform to be loved. People envy this about Taurus. That they attract real connection. Not because they chase it, but because they demand it by simply being real themselves. Life lesson: you don't need to be perfect to be loved. You just need to be present, fully, truthfully, unapologetically. Have you ever felt more drawn to someone because they were imperfectly real? Leave a comment. This world needs more of that kind of connection. Reason 14. Taurus doesn't forget who hurt them, and they don't let it happen twice. Taurus may forgive. They may move on. They may even smile, like nothing ever happened. But don't mistake that for forgetfulness, because Taurus remembers in detail. Not to punish you, but to protect themselves. They carry every scar, like a page in a personal archive. Every betrayal, every manipulation, every subtle disrespect. It's not revenge they want, it's clarity. Clarity about who belongs in their future and who only had a chapter in their past. This memory, this emotional vigilance, is what makes others envious. Because while many give second and third chances to people who never deserved the first, Taurus remembers, reflects, and quietly builds boundaries that no one sees until it's too late. Life lesson: your history holds wisdom, not weakness. Taurus teaches us, remembering who hurt you isn't bitterness, it's survival. Have you ever forgiven someone, but never looked at them the same again? Share your experience. Your wisdom may help someone else set a boundary. Reason 15. Taurus is realistic, and that's what makes them so powerful. They don't live in fantasy. They don't get swept away by empty promises or poetic dreams. Taurus is grounded, sometimes painfully so. They see the world for what it is, not what they wish it to be. And that realism, it's not cold. It's clear. While others fall for potential, Taurus watches actions. While others romanticize red flags, Taurus pauses and walks away. This practical clarity is what gives them strength in love, in business, in life. People envy Taurus for their ability to stay rooted, even when emotions try to carry them away. Because in a world full of illusions, Taurus holds on to what's real. Life lesson: don't fall in love with potential, fall in love with what's present. Taurus reminds us, reality when embraced fully becomes your power, not your prison. Have you ever seen something clearly when no one else wanted to? Let me know your clarity may have been your gift all along. Reason 16. Taurus knows how to humble people without ever raising their voice. There's a quiet fire in Taurus. They don't seek confrontation. They don't humiliate. But if someone tries to belittle them, disrespect them, or place themselves above, Taurus will respond, not by shouting, not by proving, but by showing through calm, firm energy that no one has the right to stand above them. Their silence becomes a lesson. Their presence becomes a reminder. And suddenly the one who tried to dominate the moment finds themselves shrinking. This quiet self-respect is what makes Taurus so enviable. Because while others either crumble or explode under pressure, Taurus simply grounds deeper. And when they speak finally, it's not to hurt, but to restore balance. Life lesson: respect isn't demanded, it's embodied. Taurus shows us, you can correct someone's arrogance just by standing in your truth. Have you ever stood your ground and watched someone realize they couldn't shake you? Leave a comment. Your stillness might have been your loudest moment. Reason 17. Taurus is strategic. They process slowly but decide with precision. They may not react quickly. They may pause, think, reflect, and in that pause, people misunderstand them. They think Taurus is slow, hesitant, passive. But what they don't see is the processing. While others jump to conclusions, Taurus gathers data quietly, methodically, emotionally, and logically. And when they finally make a decision, it's clean, sharp, rarely wrong. Taurus isn't impulsive, they're intentional. They wait for the whole picture, then act with full commitment. And that's what sets them apart. People envy how Taurus almost always lands on their feet, not by luck, but by vision. Life lesson: fast decisions may feel powerful, but accurate ones build your future. Taurus teaches us patience plus precision is an unstoppable force. Have you ever waited longer to decide and realized it saved you from a huge mistake? Tell me. Below, someone needs to hear your story today. Reason 18. They respond to betrayal with silence, and that silence echoes. When Taurus is betrayed, they don't fall apart. They don't cause scenes. They don't beg for an explanation. They wait, not for answers, for truth. Because Taurus knows betrayal always exposes itself eventually, and they don't need to push it. They simply stop giving access and start observing. This restraint is rare, and it's powerful. People envy how Taurus stays composed when others would break down. Because in a world that glorifies reaction, Taurus chooses control. Their silence isn't weakness, it's discipline. And when the truth comes out, Taurus is already on higher ground. Life lesson: you don't need to expose someone. Their actions will. Taurus reminds us, protect your dignity. Let truth reveal itself in time. Have you ever found peace in silence when someone expected chaos from you? Comment if you've learned the power of not reacting. Reason 19. To Taurus, every day is a step toward a bigger dream. Taurus doesn't just survive the day, they use it. While others complain about the grind, Taurus wakes up with quiet resolve. They're not racing, they're building. And every day is a brick in the life they envision. They may not move fast, but they never stop. Their persistence is so steady, People don't even realize how far they've come, until one day, Taurus is standing at the top. Others envy their consistency, that internal drive that doesn't need applause or approval, because Taurus doesn't work for recognition. They work for results. Life lesson. Progress isn't loud. It's quiet daily discipline. Taurus teaches us, if you keep showing up, the results will eventually speak for themselves. Are you the kind of person who works quietly and lets your growth speak later? Share your journey. Your story may inspire someone who's just starting. Reason 20. When Taurus finally snaps, everyone feels it. Taurus is calm. Taurus is composed. Taurus holds it together until they don't. They don't like losing control. They avoid it at all costs. But if they've been pushed too far, if the disrespect keeps coming, something shifts, something. And when Taurus snaps, it's not theatrical, it's seismic. Their anger isn't loud, it's final. It's a boundary that can't be undone. A door that shuts without sound and locks forever. People envy this. Because while most lash out constantly and mean nothing by it, Taurus saves their anger for when it truly matters. And when it comes, it's unforgettable. Life lesson. Anger is most powerful when it's rare and rooted in self-respect. Taurus teaches us, if you must erupt, make it meaningful, not messy. Have you ever stayed silent until someone pushed you too far and your reaction changed everything? Share your story. Someone might need to learn what real limits look like. Reason 21. Taurus may be crumbling inside, but you'll never see them break. This is the final reason, the one most people never notice but everyone feels. Taurus can be falling apart. Tears held behind their eyes, heart heavy with disappointment, body exhausted from carrying everyone else's weight. And yet, they'll smile. They'll show up. They'll carry on like nothing is wrong. Because to Taurus, being strong is not a choice, it's a duty. They've been the rock for so long, they no longer know how to be anything else. People envy this image of strength. They admire the resilience, but they rarely understand the price. Because behind that perfect composure is someone who wishes just once they could let go. Just once they could collapse. Just once someone else could say, you don't have to be strong today. But Taurus never asks for that, and that's why they are envied most. Because even at their weakest, they are still the strongest person in the room. Life lesson. The ones who seem the strongest often carry the heaviest pain. Taurus reminds us, strength isn't the absence of emotion, it's the choice to rise despite it. Have you ever kept going when no one knew you were hurting? Leave a comment. This space is yours to exhale, the weight of being envied, and the grace of being Taurus. Now you know, not just the surface traits, not just the calm, the beauty, the silence, but the truth. The real reason people envy Taurus is because they want what Taurus has spent years building from the inside out. Self-trust, emotional strength, boundaries wrapped in kindness, a life rooted in meaning, not noise. Taurus is not perfect. They feel deeply. They bleed privately. They carry burdens no one sees, but they never let it define them. And in a world that rewards loudness, Taurus remains the quiet mountain. Still, strong, unshakable. That's what people admire. That's what they don't understand. That's what they wish they had, but can't fake. Because you can't copy what Taurus carries in their soul. And if you're watching this, whether you are a Taurus, love a Taurus, or simply see yourself in these words, then remember this: your power isn't in how much you show. It's in what you carry, quietly. It's in your refusal to break even when no one would blame you if you did. Life lesson: let people envy you for the right reasons, not for your image, but for your integrity. Not for your silence, but for the strength behind it. Not for your calm, but for everything you conquered to find it. You are not here to explain yourself. You are here to embody everything they said was too much, too soft, or too stubborn, and turn it into it. That's what Taurus does. That's what Taurus is. If this video spoke to you, comment with just one word: unshakable. Let the world know that calm isn't weakness, it's wisdom in motion. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the soul of Taurus, this is the Eternal Flame of Taurus, where your silence is seen, where your strength is sacred, and where your story matters. Subscribe, and I'll meet you in the next tour.